Hello, everyone, and welcome back. First time I'm doing a playthrough or even really playing the game in about a year and a half almost now. And I've been doing some Friday Facts and some mod spotlights, kind of getting back into the swing of things. And I did a poll on my channel to get some information from you all about what you'd like to see, and the vast majority voted a new playthrough. And that works for me because I've kind of been getting the itch to play again, and I didn't really fully even complete Space Age before I had to stop playing due to some life stuff happening. And I wanted to do like a kind of relearning the game playthrough, because to be quite honest, it's been almost a year and a half since I've played. I didn't fully play Space Age in its entirety, so there's stuff I forget just outright. Like, there's things I just don't really remember. There's things I didn't experience with Space Age, and I'd like to go through that again and kind of walk you through what I do as I play, which is normally my style, but I want to treat this not necessarily as a tutorial playthrough, but as just me relearning things and kind of taking a different approach to things. Not coming in as a blank slate, but coming in just kind of refreshed, I guess. And walking you through my decisions, why I'm doing things, and I'd really like to try to kind of build some new habits and different play styles than what I did for like 8 years straight, prior to when I stopped playing, new builds and stuff. So some information here I'm going to drop about the series, and then we're going to I'm going to show you the map settings I chose. So don't worry, I'm going to show you those. And then after that, we're going to go into a little bit of a time lapse, just because the start of the game really hasn't changed that much. And, watching me or anyone else set up a burner city for the 900 millionth time, probably not particularly interesting, to watch in real time. So I'm going to do it just in the background while I explain a few things, and then we're going to do the settings and then the time lapse, and then we'll get into some more later gameplay. So this is starting in 2.0. 2.1 is not out yet. We have Friday Facts on it, but I just wanted to clear that up. Like, if people are wondering, like, well, I'm not switching sides of belts or something like we've seen in Friday Facts, that's because 2.1 is not out yet. I think they plan to have it out maybe in July sometime. So once it is out, we will, of course, be switching to that or updating to that, and we'll get all those new awesome features. But for now, we don't have that. And then additionally, this is, well, vanilla Space Age, I guess. Like, I do have Space Age on, obviously. I have elevated rails on, and I have quality on, which I'll touch on in a minute. But there's no other mods, and I'm not using blueprints. I really never used blueprints like imported. I will be using blueprints within the playthrough, so like if I make smelters or whatever, I'll obviously blueprint that, so I'm not rebuilding it by just looking at what's already there. But I'm not importing blueprints. And then also quality. So I am using quality. I know it's kind of maybe controversial. Some people don't like quality, which is totally fine, understandable. Everyone can play how they'd like. I like to play with it, and I also would. I also am adding it because I kind of want to demonstrate, like, how, to me, how fun and like good it can be once you kind of get the hang of it. So that's the other reason I'm doing it, because I think there's some people who maybe are interested in it, but it's maybe a little overwhelming in stuff with all the way it works and all the tiers and stuff. So I realize I'm not doing this completely optimally. This is my starting area. Again, I'll show this here shortly. But again, last thing I want to touch on before we go into the map settings is that, again, it's been almost a year and a half since I played Factorio at all. Like, I literally have not launched the game except 2 weeks ago to do mod spotlights, which I don't really count as playing necessarily. So if there's stuff that I'm doing like really poorly, or things that should seem obvious since I've played since like 2016, I've had a lot going on. I've played a lot of different games just on my own. Honestly, my mind has been in an entirely different space for the last year and a half. And like I said, part of this is relearning. There is stuff I just do not remember. And, that's part of this playthrough. We're going to kind of be learning-ish together. I mean, obviously, like, I know generally how the game works. I didn't forget that. But there's going to be some details that I'm definitely not hitting on. And, if there is something super obvious that I'm just not getting, feel free, drop it in the comments and stuff. I do appreciate constructive feedback. I don't appreciate just criticism that's unhelpful. That type of stuff will be ignored or removed. But like if there's, constructive criticisms or suggestions, like definitely I'm very open to that. Like the fact that I keep forgetting to put any miners on coal, which should be like one of the first things I should do. But anyway, I'm gonna stop blabbing here. We're gonna go into map settings and then again a time lapse type thing with just some music or something, just until I get like an actual smelter built and some general things making, just so you don't have to watch this for the entire video, because that's at this point not particularly interesting. Space agent stuff didn't change anything about this, and with that, we're gonna just head into a quick overview of the map settings. Alrighty, so these are the map settings I went with for this playthrough. I kind of just winged things, but I did intentionally adjust some things here. So on novice, we have the frequency set down to 50%, just because I want to make sure we can, take good advantage of trains and stuff. I wanted to spread things out a bit. I bumped size up a little more, just, so we can fit more miners on a patch. I did not adjust richness. I'm a little torn. I was a little torn on this, if I want richness higher or not, but with quality and other things, I think richness at 100% is probably fine, but I may bump this up a little bit just because we are going to be using a lot of resources. So I'll go ahead and do that, and it shouldn't really affect the actual generation necessarily. And then everything else, I honestly just left default because I only did one real playthrough and I didn't even completely finish Space Age before I stopped playing for this last year and a half or so. So I'm not completely, I guess, comfortable or familiar enough with each of the planets' resource distribution and stuff to be adjusting these values. So I'm just going to leave them default as is. And then we have terrain. And terrain, I lowered water a little bit on novice. Trees quite a bit. There's still a bunch of trees, but that is what it is. And then rocks I left fine. That's that. And then starting area moisture I kept as is. Volcanism on, well, Volcanus I lowered a little bit because to me this is kind of like cliffs and it bothers me a little bit, but I didn't lower it way down. Kept all this default, and then cliffs I lowered way down. I don't want to turn them off entirely. I'll probably regret that. I usually do every playthrough, but you can see we have some cliffs, but like they're not majorly in the way, but I do like them. It gives a reason, an additional reason to have like rail bridges and stuff. So I think I like kind of how this is distributed. And then kept these default. And then moisture, I adjusted nothing on these as well. Oh, and water, I think I mentioned water I lowered a little bit. Enemies completely default, didn't change anything except the starting area I made slightly bigger just because, we're going to be building quite a bit here. And enemies, I want enemies on, but I don't want them to be like 50% of the focus of the playthrough. So I wanted to give myself a little bit more room, which we have here. And then advanced, I did not change anything at all here. And that's our settings. I may regret this. It may be perfect. I'm not sure. I'll be curious to hear your guys' thoughts because obviously I won't really know until we get further into the playthrough. But this is kind of what I've chosen. And we're just going to hop back into the gameplay now. Alrighty, so we are back. Did the little time lapse there, setting up the basics. We got, our little burner city, some power smelters. You probably noticed that I struggled a fair bit with this blueprint. It's a little. I've never been great with creating like overlapping stampable blueprints on the first try, and after like over a year of not playing, I really struggled. Luckily, it was like fast forwarded, so you didn't have to sit through like 7 or 8 minutes of me messing with this, try to get it right. Now, this is a very standard design. Is pretty much what I've always used. Very common. I did mention at the start here of this episode that I wanted to kind of take a different approach, different habits, some different designs. That does not mean like never build anything I've ever built. This is a very, in my opinion and experience, a very good design, a very simple design that does exactly what it's supposed to do, which is smelt in a pretty compact area without being overly convoluted and using too many resources, aside from the power poles, which, of course, until we get mediums, are going to be very kind of redundant like this. So the smelter is probably not going to be anything new or groundbreaking. It's more of the other designs that I'm hoping to kind of uh, evolve and take a different approach with. And we've got some stuff here for basically everything we need to get this going. But we are very much encroaching on this biter base here, and I'm hoping to take this out. Now, I think I do recall they tweaked the biter difficulty a bit with 2.0, I believe. So this may be a kind of death trap here. I'm going to just dump everything in a box except my weapons. So in the event I do die, all I'm losing is my weapons. Half the time I kind of would never do that, which is not great, not a great habit. Now the shotgun at one point, uh, is it tab? No, Q? I thought it used to be Q. Well, this is what I get for for being away. I cannot remember. Switch? No. Uh, weapon next. C. Okay. What's is it? Was it always C? I don't know. I keep thinking it's Q, but anyway, the shotgun used to be decent at taking out bases, so we'll see if it is here. There's one small worm. Uh, maybe I should have made more shotgun shells. I guess we'll find out. Oh, I'm definitely dead. I should have made armor too, by the way. I mean, like, this was pretty strong. I probably should just get some iron and make armor. That would help a bit. Honestly, that was stronger than I thought, so this is probably doable. I could have done that on camera, or it is on camera. I could have done that during the time lapse, but I figured just get this out of the way. You can watch me die in real time if I fail at this. Then we're going to get our smelters going and proceed towards some automated science and stuff. So we now have armor, which should help a bit, at least. The SMG might be better for this. However, I do like the splash damage from this. Now the acid here is gonna hurt. Shooting. Yeah, dude, this is actually really good. I like this a lot. Oh, we almost like two-shot that. I like too that we're able to hit the bases while killing the biters. That was way easier than I thought it would be, actually. So that's pretty good. There's no other biters in the immediate vicinity. There's definitely going to be some outwards. Once we get some automated research going, we'll get some radars going. And we're just going to go here. So very straightforward smelter. These might both be copper. One might be iron. Probably one is going to be iron, one is going to be copper, and then we'll repurpose once we need more than one of each, because copper's here, iron is down here, so obviously it's going to make more sense to have copper, just like all sets, however many sets I have, first, and then iron. But for now, I am just going to do one and one, although it is less belt, technically, if I blueprint them down and then make iron here. Kind of. But maybe not necessarily, because if I just build my production up here, then I would have to run the belt all the way up anyway, so it's really kind of the same, I guess. All right, make some miners, get some stuff going here, because we do need to fill this one in a little bit, since we obviously only have the one resource. Now, I need to look through the hotkeys a bit more, because I think it's a setting maybe, hold on. What I'm looking for is that I thought there was a way, like, if you hit Q over something that you don't have, that it will craft some of it. Maybe I'm imagining that. It was definitely a mod, but I thought, what would that even be under? I do want that. I thought that they added that in 2.0. I do want that. Let's see. Combinator settings, yes. Yes. Don't want that. Pick ghost item if no items are available. Yeah, well, I did want that, but I also wanted set quick bar filter by clicking with an item. I do want that as well. Parameters don't do anything in the game. Okay, show items. Show all items. Show items that weren't unlocked yet in the selection window. Yes. And then maybe there wasn't. Maybe I'm just thinking of a mod that I got mixed up. Let me look one more time. Yeah, it's definitely not here. Okay, well, whatever. It gives us a ghost. That's actually really mainly what I wanted was the ghost. So we'll do that. If there is a setting I'm missing, let me know, because I clearly have missed it. And honestly, like 4 of these for copper, I think is probably fine. Or iron. Well, I kind of built this one out more, which was not the smartest move, since that one's actually going to be copper, but that's fine. We'll just get some smelters going, get some iron going here. Oh, already messing it up. Potentially need to lower my sensitivity on my mouse here. Make some belt. Man, this is like going to be the first thing I automate for sure. Okay, so this is going to come down. That's going to be copper. This is going to be iron. We're just going to lay out... we're just going to lay out some general stuff here. Probably going to do some form of a bus, but not right away, because I'm certainly not going to be handcrafting the hundreds of belts and such that we need. So we're just going to go ahead and do that. Okay, we got achievements. Fantastic. Some achievements were disabled because I increased the starting area size, which is, I don't know if I'd call that a fun fact, but it is a fact I did not realize, that you disabled achievements by increasing starting area size. Not that I'm really achievement hunting by any means, because, well, one, I don't really care. I'm not really into getting achievements. And I think the ones that were disabled were mostly ones I would have already gotten at some point. So this obviously needs power. We have power poles. Let's craft some of the other things we needed, though. We needed this. We have that. Belt. We're going to need more inserters for sure. So that's going to come down. Still going to need more belt than this. Absolutely more belt than this. Okay. Some inserters here. Get these put down. Oh, I guess we actually need a third splitter on that, huh? Coal. Now, we could go full spaghetti and not do a bus. Even after all this time, I think my brain is kind of oriented in a bus system, but I'll give it some thought. We'll see how things evolve. We might do some kind of combination of both, perhaps. And also, I did want to bring up, I meant to actually bring up, like, right as we got back here, I did have some questions about people asking me about streaming, now that I'm kind of back in the swing of things, if I was going to get back into streaming. And I'm not saying no, and it's not because I don't want to, but kind of where things are right now in my life, it's very difficult for me to have enough of a solid stretch of time to actually stream, because between my work, which is not this, unfortunately, at least for now, I have other work between that, and then I now have 2 big goober dogs, which they are very very attention hungry. They go on like 3 or more walks a day, and kind of just getting like several hours in a row uninterrupted is pretty difficult. So that's the main reason that I'm kind of iffy on streaming, because for obvious reasons. That is not particularly conducive, but we'll see what I can do. You know, there are some times where I can, so maybe just some streams thrown in here or there for like, I guess what I would consider busy work uh, here. Although, if I'm being completely honest, if I were to stream, it probably wouldn't be Factorio. I've been very, very much obsessed with Slay the Spire 2 lately. I love Slay the Spire, and that's really the main thing I've been playing aside from Factorio now. I threw in some other games like Big Ambitions and stuff, but that's the main thing I've been playing kind of on my own. All right, so we have this. Eventually, we will need coal run up, but I think building the belts right now is not actually worth the investment. Don't need fast inserters, don't need green science yet. Probably radar, so I can actually start finding things. Gun turrets as well, not the worst idea. Let's get some additional miners made here. And then run iron up. We will need belts, of course, for that. And copper, I'm going to yank these up and go ahead and pull these out here. Now this, you probably saw on the map preview when I went over what settings I had. This area is pretty open. I don't know if I'm going to go straight or go down or both. That's an option. I could go kind of both directions. That would be kind of fun. I'm not exactly sure how that would work, but I almost like that idea, doing a bit of a, what would that be, like an upside down L? So like going out this way and then going out this way perhaps with production. I mean, that's multiple routing of belts, but one thing I have wanted to, or I do want to try with this playthrough is having like kind of, I guess you would say like feeder smelters or stations where instead of just having, you know, I don't know, like a dozen smelters here, having it all run up to like a bus and then like split out with all these split offs all the way down the bus, is thinking, because I've been thinking a lot about like real life production, right? And it's not like all I don't know, all TV production or all toilet paper production or whatever is in one location for the entire world. I mean, like some stuff maybe is one country, but it's still not like literally one factory. It's made. I'm thinking of like, especially like the U.S. Like, there's multiple factories that make a lot of stuff spread out all the way through the U.S. and then they're sent to like warehouses and stuff. And I'm sure this is the same in many other places. And I'm not like trying to mirror exactly real life production and logistics, but generally I did want to try having like kind of like feeder top up smelter areas, and once we get train stations like throughout the bus instead of everything here. The reason I go into that tangent is that I think having uh like going this way with like some of the stuff, and then like I could go this way and have like additional production like as we get farther into the tree, like as we get into like, I don't know, maybe by the time we get to like red circuits or something, I would start making stuff down this way and kind of send our base resources down and split off from that, so we have almost like an upside down L type of thing. I think that would be kind of cool. Just kind of go from start there. I mean, so we'll start going out straight and then see. I mean, we could start going down as well. That might actually be better, just because going straight, I think, gives us a little more opportunity for expansion. Actually, maybe not. I'll think about it for like the next 30 seconds until we get up there. All right, so we need a bunch of belt. I'm realizing I maybe went... I'm realizing I maybe went away from the burner stage slightly too quickly. I do have that problem pretty frequently when I used to play, is I would leave the burner stage too quickly and then like not have enough iron or whatever to make things I needed to get to the actual remade production. So, yeah, that's gonna be interesting. I probably shouldn't even use the belt over there because I need iron to make the belt. So really what I should be doing, that's coal. I think I'm probably just gonna hand feed these with coal, actually. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So I probably should just do iron first, since we need the iron to make the belt. That would make sense. And we're almost there. Okay, not bad, not bad. So we have 4 miners. I'm not gonna tear these up quite yet. And you may have just heard, just for future videos of any kind, there may be times where you hear dogs barking. they they're loud. They bark at many things. So if that is the case, I apologize. I may not always be able to edit that out. All right, so I'm gonna get this going, and one thing I kind of wanted to talk about is I mentioned developing different habits and stuff, and I think one of my main weaknesses, like looking back, I've had a lot of time to look back on how I used to play and the flaws I had, and some things I did well, and kind of what I liked and didn't like about my own gameplay. And one of the main things I think that I could have done better, and that frustrated me, and I'm sure frustrated other people, was that I didn't really take full advantage of like the actual automation of everything. Obviously, I was building factories, and in some cases, very large factories, which was automation, but there were a lot of things, especially the little things, where I didn't automate them. I would just like, it would take me, gosh, I don't know, like 10 hours into the playthrough to like have assembling machines automated, or like all the inserter types automated, and I'd just be handcrafting them the whole time, which kind of bothered me because I knew that it was like not really the best way to do things. And I mean, Factorio, you can play Factorio however you want. I'm not going to say there's a right or wrong way to do it, but it is an automation game, and at least for me, I think that actually automating a lot of things would probably be good. So that's one thing I want to try to change. And over the last year, as part of my work, I've worked a lot with AI. And I know a lot of people are not a fan of AI. I totally get it. I think I'm of the perspective that I think there's things it's really good at and that are great to use it with. And there's a lot of things that it should not be given like dependency with, like people, like there's a lot of instances and companies that are just trying to like hand everything off to it, which is not a great idea. And there are things it does not do well, and there are things that is just generally not great with it. But I don't personally have the opinion that it should just be completely shunned and not used. I've had fantastic uses with it, and again, my reason for going into that is because, like, one of the whole things with AI is automation and doing things that would otherwise, take a person a very long time, or that you otherwise couldn't do. And I would like to try to bring that, now that I've kind of used it a lot, like used automation a lot for things in my life and for work in the last year. I think I would like to try to bring that into Factorio more than I used to. Also realizing we don't have any lights. Where the heck are the lights? Is that really worth researching? I don't know. I mean, this is YouTube, and looking at my OBS preview, it does look really dark. So I apologize for that. Is there... Actually, hold on. I probably should have done this first. I should bump up the brightness a little bit until we get lights. My apologies. I don't even know if that helped. That didn't even look like it helped. But hey, we have iron, and we should be having belts. If I had powered it, that's also something I tend to do a lot. Now, I don't think... Oh, it does work. Okay. Yes. Okay, fantastic. Heck yeah. Okay. There's so many things, like, back before I stopped playing, that like for 2.0 specifically, all these little quality of life changes that I knew about, and I had kind of memorized through the Friday Facts and through the beta testing play, and I've completely forgotten a lot of them. So like that right there, I was thinking like, if I just hold and drag, is that gonna place where the blueprint is? And that may have actually been before 2.0. Either way, I totally did not remember if that was a thing. So I am really happy it is. And this also is, I know you guys were probably screaming at the screen this whole time. That is not a belt. That is an inserter. And we don't have power because I missed a power pole somewhere. Please explain. Is it because... Oh, that's so annoying. Okay. Wait, really? Gotta be kidding me right now. Is that... Dude, no way. Really? Have they not fixed this? Okay, that's kind of crazy, actually. I hate to sound like a complainer, but shouldn't this prioritize connecting to power poles that are actually there? This is wild. Yo, what the frick? I guess I'm just gonna have to, like, restamp down the blue... Okay, that's crazy, actually. How come that... Is this gonna break it again? Actually, before we do that, let's make sure this actually has power. That's kind of wild that that's a thing. That it is connecting... Because obviously power poles have a limited connection. I'm aware of that. But that's why this is a problem, because... Is this gonna break it? No. So, I mean, re-blueprinting it, easy fix, but still, the fact that it's not connecting to the power poles that are placed, and instead connecting to ghost ones, which is then preventing power from running through, is actually kind of crazy. I hate to start the first video complaining, but, interesting. Okay. So we now have belt, which is great, and we can now connect up copper. And then we can do some science, and that will be great. I'm probably going to still, let's see, we're at 21 minutes. I mean, first episode, always longer, but I don't want this to be like an hour episode. So, yeah, actually, there should probably be run over there. It's making more sense. Probably I'm going to get a little science setup going and then call it here, which I know is not insanely productive for the first episode. But that's usually how first episodes go. Is, you know, it's not like we get to like blue science in episode 1. But hopefully you guys have enjoyed. I know I'm a little... Well, I am rusty with the game, but I'm also rusty with recording. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'm kind of trying to explain what I'm doing. Like I said, it's kind of a relearning experience for me, but really the explanation and kind of problem solving aspect is going to be coming into play a little bit later on. I've done this phase of the game probably quite literally like 150 times or more. Probably more, probably like over 200 times. So I don't have a lot of explaining to do here, and this isn't particularly novel. This is like very, very standard. And I would just edit it out entirely, but I wanted to take the time to kind of just talk to you guys and just go through like what's been going on, what my plans are here, and all that stuff, and just take the time to do that rather than trying to stumble through it while like also explaining builds and interrupting my thought processes through that. I think these are quite loud. I think that's actually enough. I think 2 is enough. Speaking of enough, we don't really have quite enough power. It's going to be almost time to run the coal up there, but for now, I'm going to make some assemblers, and when I say little science setup, what I really mean is probably just like a little setup at the lab that I have there, because setting up an entire red science build, probably going to take a little bit. Maybe not. We'll see how fast we can kind of speed run through this. And by speed run, I mean like very, very standard pace, because I've never been a speedrunner. My mind doesn't really work that way. Some people's minds, like anti-elites and nephrons and such, they just have that gift. Like I cannot, my brain literally does not work in a way that allows me to do that. Oh, speaking of coal, here. I'll just go get the coal, it's fine. So, okay, we can probably do red science, because really all we need is just zip these up here. I mean, these are not going to stay fueled for long, but that's okay. And there goes the power. All right, well, I'm going to take this, salvage any coal that might be in there as well. I will leave the stone. That's a lot of stone. I'm going to make a bunch of stone furnaces. And then take this. I have 2 assemblers, which is certainly not enough. Why don't we cancel that and do like some of that, and then do a bunch of these. And we're going to go put some coal in here so this can actually work. Put that in there, put that in there. We're probably going to be pushing our limits on power a little bit. And, okay, well, for now, we'll do this. I do like to put a pipe in between to give space for the power poles, but you can do it up by the boiler, too, or put pipe between the boilers, which maybe I'll do. We'll see. Anyway, we'll come over here. I should have some belt now. Making assemblers. So, if we're just going to go straight with this thing, why don't we just put red science, like, right here. Or down there, I guess. Either way would work. Could do, like, a circular bus. Or, like, go this way and down, and then this way and over, and, like, meet or something. I'm just thinking if I want the production in the middle or the outsides, it would actually... well, if you put it in the middle, that very much kind of caps how big you can build it, because you would end up hitting other things. I think it makes sense to have it go out and then have this one, once I come down here, go like out. Otherwise, we're going to be hitting each other. My thought, though, was that like if I go inwards, I can then have room out here for like all sorts of like deliveries and like smelter things, which... Okay, let me think about this really quick. So if we build down, and then we come, and then we bring these down and come out this way, we could kind of build out here, or build out here. I think... Well, there's trees in the way. Well, that solves that problem immediately. I'm not going to chop all those down. We'll do this. We'll just move it later if we need to. Not the biggest deal. And, you know, normally I would, like, plan out a whole bus. At this point, I really kind of just want science. So I'm just going to, like, throw some stuff down. And, I mean, there's going to be some sort of reasoning behind this, but we need gears, and then ratios are still the same, I think. So 1 gear, 5 seconds, half a second. So 1 gear can support 10. Sounds about right. And I might not do as much with ratios as I normally would. One of those needs to actually be gears. But to kind of explain, I just like ratios because it kind of helps me just plan like general build size and also just general resource allocation. Like if it's not exact, I feel as if I'm going to be more flexible now than I used to be. But I think just generally having an idea of like, oh, this amount of assemblers will kind of take this many gears is just generally good to know. So we're going to do this. It's going to go there. We'll just have this one be iron. We will make it potentially expandable because we could just like reassign this to gears and then move it up. So we'll have this come here, and then this one is going to be copper, and we need, of course, splitters for this. Well, I guess we can just do that. We will eventually need splitters for this. For now, we'll just do that and then get some inserters. This is going to need 2. I do remember that. Yeah, that can go there. And then make some more of these. And then bring this over. Again, pretty standard, but... Yikes, out of belt again. We can at least get... Ooh, 183 belt. Dang, I'm rich. All right, bring this here, bring this up there. And I would like some labs. I don't know how many labs. That is the one thing I was never good at, is like how many labs for how much science production. Because like these are half speed, so if we have 10, then we're making. Right, math is hard. So if we had 5 of these and they were full speed, we would be making 1 a second. 10 would be 2 a second, but we're back to half speed, so it's still 1 a second with 10 of them, I believe. I know it's kind of convoluted math there, but and then this is like a research speed of 1, which I guess is just base, but then you can get the research speed increases, which throws it off. So I guess without the research speed, it's just like 1 lab is however long this takes, so 15 seconds. So like 1 lab, if it were fed red science packs consistently, would take 15 seconds. If you had 2, it would be also 15 seconds, but like cut in half. I don't know. I'm not gonna try to figure that out. I normally just place labs until there's not enough science. I'm sure someone will explain to me in the comments like the correct math for that. And I am aware now that this is not great, but I think what I'm gonna do is just improvise. So that plays on the far side. We're just gonna go like this. Oh. That doesn't really help. Yeah, this is a mess. This is very much a mess. I don't like that at all. Because I goofed up. But this... Yeah, that's fine. So if that's places on the right side from... That's still going to be the wrong... Now, once 2.1 comes out, we can switch the side and then do it. Until that point, though, we're just going to have to do like the really ugly thing I consider horrific and do that. But I could just export it. I could just clear this belt and have it shared over there, but I think this is also fine. Especially because this half of the belt isn't even used anyway. Like, the inserter is always placed on the far side there, so there's never going to be anything on that side of the belt here. So I might as well take advantage of it. And we'll do that, and then that, and once we connect this to power, we will have science. We'll place the labs and probably call it an episode. Gonna be a bit of a long one here, but hopefully you guys don't mind. Okay, our power is probably going to crash and burn here. 4 labs. I like even numbers, so let's not block that. Let's have this just go... Could have these go like out the like sideways. That, boom, and then inserters, and we should be good to go. But I'm gonna go ahead and finish connecting this up between episodes, so I don't keep you any longer. Definitely a long one here. Oof. But thank you all for hanging out and sticking through. If you made it to the end, you know, congrats, and thank you for sticking around that long. This feels good. This feels good to be back. I clearly don't know what I'm doing because, yep. All right. Well done. I'll mess with this off camera. Oh boy, well, we can see the cracks starting to show here with my time away. Oh boy. All right, well, definitely need to be picking these up and then not having them sent that way. I'll deal with that. Anyway, hope that gave you a laugh. Thank you all so much for watching. Leave your thoughts and stuff down below if there's like different ways you'd like me to play, if there's any thoughts you have about the series, about my playing, anything I talked about, anything I've done. Hopefully I didn't leave anything too broken aside from this. And if you did enjoy, a like is very much appreciated. And, you know, if you're not subbed already and found this, definitely feel free to sub to keep up with new releases, both for this series and my other videos like Spotlight, Mod Spotlights, and Friday Facts discussions. And that's going to do it. Thank you all so much. I feel great to be back. You all are awesome. I've had so many warm welcomes, and I truly very much appreciate it. And I love interacting with you all and making content. So, till next time, I look forward to seeing you all, and do take care.